very first Festival of Hope Zoom call. We are excited about the many cool things we're planning for these Zoom calls. So just to give you a heads up, they are going to be, generally speaking, interactive. We'll be doing a variety of projects and exploring some different topics. We'll have a guest every Zoom call. We'll have a guest. So I'm Michele Neff Hernandez. I'm the CEO and founder of Soaring Spirits International. So lovely to have you all join us. And we are joined today by Joanne Fink. And I'm going to ask Joanne if she would introduce herself.
Thank you, Michele.
And I'll turn
it is an honor to be here for the inaugural Soaring Spirits Festival of Hope Zoom call. And I see some familiar faces, which is great. And I am a designer and writer, and I live in Orlando. My husband died 9 years ago when our children were 11 and 16. And we were both very active in the Jewish community. And I've been a cantorial soloist for most of my life since college. And tomorrow night is Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year. And so people in the Jewish community have been getting ready for weeks, especially those of us who lead services. And it's going to be a very strange virtual Rosh Hashanah this year, because I don't know anyone who is meeting in a synagogue. So we're all trying to reinvent what we're doing. One of the things I have reinvented are Zoom backgrounds for the holidays, which I'm modeling here. And this says Shana Tova, which means Happy New Year. And so a little bit of art from my heart.
Thank you so much, Joanne. So Joanne is an extremely talented artist. She has participated with Soaring Spirits in a number of ways and shared her art so beautifully. I want to let you all know that she has shared a piece of art with us. I'm going to ask Jenny if she would put it in a link to it in the chat. Joanne has designed a Rosh Hashanah coloring page. So for any of you who are coloring aficionados, you'll find that's downloadable from the Soaring Spirits website because of Joanne's generosity. So please feel free to take a look at it, download it, and make it part of our week where we're celebrating and exploring the traditions and rituals around the high holiday of Rosh Hashanah. Joanne, I was wondering if you could tell us, you said out loud that you were a cantorial soloist. Would you just tell us what that means for anyone who may not have experienced that?
Sure. In many synagogues, there's a rabbi who leads prayers and does sermons, and a cantor who sings and invites the congregation to find connection through music. And many cantors go to school for 5 or 6 years to get a degree. And then there are those of us who have a different career but love to sing and are familiar with the liturgy. And I have also done some studying, but I do not have what's called smicha, which is ordination. But I've been leading services since I was in college, when I was asked to do my first high holiday services, and have more or less been doing it off and on ever since. I taught my daughter how to play the guitar when she was a teenager, and so now I just get to sing, and if I can convince her to play, I like that even better, because I'm in it for the singing more than playing the guitar. But my primary path to connection is putting pen to paper, but music is a huge part of my life, and being able to share that love with a congregation, or in my case, multiple congregations, because especially now that the world has gone virtual, past Friday night, I went to 4 different Shabbat services and enjoyed every single one of them. So
wonderful.
That answered the question, but
It did, thank you. I just thought it would be good for people to understand what a cantor was and the difference between a rabbi and a cantor, that they're two different people, not the same person necessarily, and how you might become a cantor. So you've answered all of that. Thank you very much. I just want to take a minute to ask everyone if you've brought your apples and honey to bring it up. So, Joanne, I know you have yours, and I'm curious if you could tell us what is it exactly. Look at beautiful. I love it. Could you tell us what? How does this tradition play out? Is this something you would generally do in community, or you would do it on your own? How do apples and honey? Thank you, Wendy. I saw that.
Yes and yes. So apples and honey cake are traditional foods for Rosh Hashanah. And so everybody wants to be inscribed in the book of life for a sweet new year, a year of blessings, a year of good health and happiness. And the tradition is in part because the apple is round like the world, um, and it's a fruit of the tree, which is traditional in fall. Um, we always bless the apple and dip it in honey and enjoy the sweetness and hope that it carries us through the new year. And the plate, I don't know if you can see the plate because I have my virtual background on. So I'm going to turn my virtual background off and show you this adorable plate because it is in the shape of an apple.
Oh,
And there's a star that you can't really see because I have apples all over it. Um, but it was handcrafted, and there's a little bee for the honey on top. And I thought it was really special. And now
you
you get.
usually would do this in community, so people would gather together. Would they bring their own apples and honey? How does that work?
So, no, it's more of a family thing. So, we will do this, there's usually a big Rosh Hashanah dinner before services. Uh, Rosh Hashanah is one of the two high holidays, meaning it's one of the two most important days in the Jewish calendar. And if you ever go to services, and some people are what I call once a year Jews, my parents among them, um, you go on the high holidays. And so usually at Shabbat, there might be 30 or 40 people in a congregation. And at the high holidays, there can be 500 people in a congregation because everybody likes the opportunity to begin again for the new year. But we don't eat in synagogue. We might eat at the oneg, which is kind of a sweetness meal afterwards, but we don't actually eat at services, and honey is sticky. So we tend to eat that at home. We bless the wine, we light candles before the holiday starts. We bless the candles, we bless the wine, we bless the round challah that we eat to symbolize a good new year also. Often it has raisins in it. And I like to eat the challah with honey too. And then we bless the apple and honey, and then we have our festival meal. And then we go to services.
Wonderful. Well, I love that idea of the apple representing the earth. So that's something new that I've learned about Rosh Hashanah. Thank you so much for sharing. We all, many of us, I'm sure, saw your video. And one of the things that was in your video, I'm not going to attempt the pronunciation because I'm not sure I'll get it right, but I believe that's the ram's horn. And you told me that you've brought it with you. So I would love it if you'd be willing to show it and then tell us a little bit about the purpose of this as it relates to Rosh Hashanah.
So this is called a shofar. It's a ram's horn, and it is blown every day of the month of Elul. Today is the second to last day of the month of Elul, and it's blown at Rosh Hashanah and at Yom Kippur. And I will try to blow it for you. I'm really not very good at it, but I'll give you a taste, hopefully, of what it sounds like. And it's a call to awaken. What we do between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is called tshuva, which is the Hebrew word for to turn. We turn back to connect with God, to connect with the best version of ourselves. And the shofar is the wake up or alarm that calls to us to do that. And there's different, so that's a tikiyah, and then usually as the cantor, I would say tikiyah, and then someone will blow the shofar who does it better than I do, and then shivarim. I don't do that very well, and I'm not even going to try to because it goes. And my husband could blow the shofar pretty well.
Oh. Well, I feel like that was a wonderful taste of what that's like. Thank you for sharing that.
And at the end of services, there's in many synagogues kind of a contest. They invite several shofar blowers to the bima, which is where people, where the rabbi and cantor usually stand, and usually they are people who play the bugle or something, because it's the same lip action, I gather. And tikiyah gadola, gadol means big, and so you want your tikiyah to last for a long time, and it's a contest. So everybody blows the shofar. Usually in my synagogue there's 3 or 4 people, and every year it's the same person who has the greatest lung capacity and outlasts the other 2. But
I can imagine that it is difficult to do, and it's an interesting shape, so you have to blow the air all the way through the shape of the horn.
And so shofars come in different sizes. This is my medium shofar. One year for his birthday, I got Andy a long shofar that's probably twice as long, and I have 2 tiny ones that if I'm traveling, I'll take with me. And I think what I understand, the older the ram is, the longer their horns. So that's why
that makes sense. It's beautiful. All right, I love that so much, and I want to make sure we get to our sweetnesses. So I'm going to share that my dishes. I'm grateful that you shared yours. So these dishes actually came from a vendor in San Diego just a few weekends ago when I was able to get out and make a quick stop for something I had to drop off at my sister's, who lives in San Diego. At any rate, I saw this shop that was open, and it has dishes that resemble the ones I bought in Greece. So for my 50th birthday, I was able to go to Greece, and one of the things I've done is try to bring dishes back, small dishes back from places that I've been to remind me of my trips. And this year it feels particularly sweet to have the apples and honey inside this dish, because it's a reminder of a trip that was really beautiful and about this time last year. So anyways, what I thought we would do is ask Joanne. So I want to just remind everyone that the purpose of the Festival of Hope is to explore and learn about traditions and rituals and holidays that we may have never heard of before. And so, Joanne, I wonder, is it possible for you to bless the apples, and then for all of us to engage in our apples by following Joanne's example and direction? And then I would like for us to have the opportunity to share some sweetnesses from the week, and we'll give you an opportunity to decide if you'd like to share that. The recording, for the record, will stop after we get to the apples and honey portion. So, Joanne, if you will that work? A blessing, and then you'll tell us what to do.
Yes. So, would you like to say the blessing with me? In which case, I can repeat after me, or would you just like me to say the blessing for everybody?
I think that let's have you say the blessing so that we are able to manage our Zoom quality. Okay. I want people to be able to hear you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri ha'etz. And then you dip the apple in the honey, and that translates to, praised are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who has brought forth the fruit from the earth. And now we eat.
And now we eat. Beautiful. And may we all be welcoming sweetness. Gratitude to Joanne Fink, who has joined us and given us such an interesting look at a beautiful tradition, a beautiful high holiday. You want to, if you'd like to connect with Joanne or learn more about her art, you can find her at Zenspirations.com. We're asking Jenny to put that in the chat. So for those of you who are live, you'll be able to see it there. But also we have her artwork downloadable on the Soaring Spirits website under Document Center from the Festival of Hope website. So you can download a beautiful piece of art that Joanne gifted us and also connect with her if you'd like to see. She's got tons of books, amazing art, beautiful lettering. You'll find lots of things to enjoy on Zenspirations.com. Joanne, thank you so much.
Thank you.